Imagine this, the stock market crashing, not by accident, but by design.
Almost nothing was spared here once we learned about the new U.S. tariff regime. In S&P 500, it is going to close the day lower by about 4.8%. That's the worst day for the index going back to June of 2020. It pushes the S&P 500 back 12% from its all-time high. 5396 and change is where it settles on the day. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost more than 1,600 points on the day, taking it down by 4% on the day. The NASDAQ Composite down 1,000 points or 6%. The NASDAQ 100 down 1,000 points or 5.4%. The Russell 2000 down more than 100 points or 7%. S&P 400 mid caps down 7%. Dow Transports down 9%. And I know, Alex, you like to look at the equal weighted index.
I do.
That was an underperformer relative to the S&P, down 4.8%.
What the market is doing, and this is the stock market, the oil market, the commodities market, the bond market, across the board, what these markets are telling you is that the prospects for global growth have deteriorated. That we're looking at the possibility now of the U.S. going into recession.
Donald Trump's plans for the economy would accelerate inflation and invite a recession by the middle of next year.
Give Trump credit. I mean, he literally killed the economy.
We've wiped out $4 trillion of shareholder value.
He's made that happen. I mean, he literally wiped away trillions of dollars from the U.S. economy. We can't even make that up in the tariffs.
We have major breaking news right now. There's complete turmoil on Wall Street. We just got futures numbers. Dow futures are down another 1,531 points, or about 4%. The S&P 500 about 4%. NASDAQ 100 futures also tanked as well, folks. This is a bloodbath, and tomorrow is going to be literally potentially Armageddon on Wall Street. Folks are predicting a possible 1987 stock market crash. To put that into perspective, we haven't seen something like this really since 2008, and the odds of a recession are rising extremely fast. If you could see a major recession in America, the market tomorrow is going to plummet once again, likely. It's all bad news all around right now for the United States. We have some big news right now. There's increased panic on Wall Street right now ahead of Dow futures, stock market futures opening this evening, to the point where big Wall Street trading desks will be fully manned in preparation for the futures opening this evening. According to the latest Fox Business reporting, big Wall Street trading desk will be manned in time for tonight's future opening. They are preparing for more selling, intense selling. And it reminds this reporter of 2008 when the big banks fell. Many people are expecting potential sell-offs to the point of 1987, where we had one of the worst market crashes in recent memory.
So we've got some very concerning news coming in right now. Wall Street is in a complete and total panic about the markets tomorrow. They are predicting a devastating stock market crash at the opening bell. This is from a Fox Business reporter. Big Wall Street trading desks will be staffed for tonight's futures open. They are preparing for, quote, intense selling. CNBC's Jim Cramer is warning of a 1987 Black Monday-style stock market crash Monday. And Europe is not taking Donald Trump's tariffs lightly. The European Union has agreed to impose tariffs on $28 billion worth of U.S. imports. Meanwhile, we're already seeing the crypto markets react. Bitcoin is now below 80,000. If you remember, it wasn't long ago that Donald Trump posted this: "Congratulations, Bitcoiners, won $100,000. You're welcome. Together we will make America great again." Folks, buckle up. Things are going to get messy. There is no way to sugarcoat this. We could be in for something that looks like the 2008-2009 crash. We could even be looking at something that looks like the Great Depression of 1929. And the worst part about all this is that none of this had to happen. This is entirely self-inflicted by Donald Trump.
Not by accident, but by design.
He spent 2 or 3 years thinking hard about how he can actually implement and execute his ideas. And he surrounded himself with people who have no experience, for the most part, of actually being in government. So he knows more than them. According to people I've spoken who are part of his team, he's extremely convinced that he knows what to do now, he knows how to execute it, and he will keep charting his course almost in spite of anything.
What if one man saw it coming and no one listened? Last year, April 19, 2024, Maxwell Azazela set himself on fire outside Trump's hush money trial in New York. He wasn't just a protester. He left a warning, a manifesto claiming a secret kleptocracy controlling both parties was plotting a fascist coup. His proof? They'd crashed the system to take over. Crazy, right? What if he was right? Fast forward to 2025. Trump's back, and his tariffs are hitting like a sledgehammer. February 25% on Canada and Mexico. 10% on China. Markets dip, but he pauses. Mexico's tariffs. False hope. March. He doubles China to 20%, reinstates the rest. The S&P 500 loses $4 trillion in a week. Then April 2nd, 10% on all imports. The steepest trade barriers in a century. April 3rd, 2.4 trillion vanishes in a single day. 6.4 trillion total since March. Here's the kicker. He's ignoring every warning. GDP's forecast is at minus 2.4% for quarter one. Recession odds have hit 35%. Consumer confidence, lowest since 2022. Investors, 61% of them are bearish. But Trump's response, it's going very well. Indeed it is. No fixes, no backtracking, just more tariffs. The Atlanta Fed says, we're contracting. Goldman Sachs sees a downturn. Economists warn of a 1930s-style trade war, and Trump, he shrugs. It's getting worse. China has slapped a 34% tariff on us starting April 10th, 6 days from now. Canada is hit back with a 25% tariff on 155 billion of our goods. Mexico's joined in. Ford, GM, Apple, Amazon, shares are tanking. Look at the stock market right now. Supply chains are breaking. And Trump's answer? Escalate. Tariffs on all countries. Why push this hard unless the goal is chaos? April 3rd, retail folks, they bought $4.7 billion in stocks. That's the biggest in a decade. Right before the crash. A trap? Meanwhile, gold hits over $3,000 an ounce. And other policies, federal job cuts, spending freezes, mass deportations are piling on the pain. Elon Musk's secretive efficiency team, deleting records, smells like a cover-up. Now picture this. It's October 2025. Unemployment's at 8%, inflation 5%. The market's down 20 to 30%. People are desperate. That's when they strike. Azazel's kleptocracy declares an emergency. Economic sabotage, they'll say. Suspend elections, crack down, seize power. A fascist coup, just as he warned. Writing a crisis they made.
Imagine if I had pulled Fox News' credentials from the White House press corps. No, but this is what's happening. Imagine if I had said to law firms that were representing parties that were upset with policies my administration had initiated, you will not be allowed into government buildings. We will punish you economically for dissenting from the Affordable Care Act. We will ferret out students who protest against my policies.
The crash isn't a mistake. It's a spark.
So while the economy is crumbling, this is what Donald Trump did today. He's golfing.
That on the morning of 9/11, a lady looked out of her apartment in New Jersey, looking over to the burning tower, the first one, and saw 5 Middle Eastern-looking men filming it, high-fiving and cheering. He took them to be Arabic. She called the police. The police eventually tracked them down. They had traveling around in a white van. They were Israelis. They became known as the Dancing Israelis. They were arrested and kept in custody for 71 days until the ultra-Zionist head of the criminal division of the Justice Department, Michael Chertoff, released them. And they went back to Israel. These 5 dancing Israelis, 2 of which were known by the police to be Mossad agents, said that they were there to document the event. Well, hold on, how did you know it was going to happen?